Have you ever watched certain men move through the world radiating an undeniable magnetism, while others, perhaps yourself, toil tirelessly, yet remain invisible? There's a silent, almost brutal truth at play here, a paradox that gnaws at the soul of many. The harder you strive to impress, the more elusive genuine interest becomes. It's a frustrating dance, isn't it? A relentless pursuit that often leaves you empty-handed, wondering what secret ingredient you're missing. The common belief whispers that it's about sharp looks or overflowing bank accounts. But that's a superficial glance at a much deeper game. The true divide between those who effortlessly command attention and those who perpetually chase isn't etched on their faces or held in their wallets. It's forged in the very architecture of their mind. There's a particular way of thinking, a specific internal posture that women instinctively respond to. It's a complete reversal of the typical script, a defiance of conventional wisdom in dating. We're about to tear down the veil and expose 5 potent Machiavellian principles of attraction. And let's be brutally clear. Machiavellian here doesn't whisper of manipulation or malice. It roars of strategic insight, a profound, unvarnished understanding of human nature itself. This isn't about cheesy lines or playing games with someone's feelings. This is about a fundamental shift in how you inhabit your own skin, how you navigate your daily existence, whether face-to-face or through the digital ether. It's about becoming an epicenter of gravity, naturally drawing women into your orbit. When these principles truly settle into your bones, you won't need to wear a mask or contort yourself into someone you're not. You will simply become the kind of man whose presence creates a palpable pull, a magnetic force that women find utterly compelling. The core objective isn't to turn you into a pickup artist. It's to forge you into a man who is grounded, deeply sovereign within his own life, and undeniably attractive without a hint of desperation or neediness clinging to him. Each of these 5 tenets will demand that you dismantle old beliefs and reconstruct your approach from the ground up. If you're truly ready to shed the weary cloak of the pursuer and step into the mantle of the pursued, then let's begin this descent into the unvarnished truth, starting with the very first rule. Rule 1. The art of unchasing. Let her pursue. Most men are fed a steady diet of conventional romance, trained to believe that relentless pursuit is the only path to a woman's heart. They send a barrage of texts, drown her in compliments, and tie themselves in knots trying to anticipate her every whim. But this over-eagerness, this desperate rush to please, screams a single fatal message into the universe. I am not enough on my own. I need your validation, your presence to feel worthy. Therefore, I must chase you. And that, my friend, is where the game ends before it even truly begins. Consider this stark comparison, a brutal mirror reflecting common pitfalls. Imagine 2 men, both undeniably drawn to the same woman. The first, an emotional meteorologist, constantly tracks her every move. His phone is a weapon of constant communication, texts, calls, compliments that cascade over her like an unending waterfall. He is always without fail, available at a moment's notice, dropping everything for her slightest suggestion. He is, in essence, a living, breathing monument to his own desperation. Now, observe the second man. When he's with her, he's present, attentive, fully engaged. His eyes meet hers. His words carry weight. His laughter is genuine. But when they are apart, he simply exists. He's immersed in his own world, dedicated to his ambitions, his passions, his growth. He doesn't bombard her with attention, doesn't hover like a shadow. He gives her space not out of indifference, but out of a profound self-possession. Which of these 2 will ignite a deeper intrigue within her? Which man will spark the embers of genuine curiosity, forcing her mind to linger on him long after he's gone? The answer almost universally is the second. The first man's relentless pursuit, his transparent neediness broadcasts a fundamental lack of self-worth. It declares, "I have nothing else compelling in my life. You are my sole focus." The second man, by contrast, emanates confidence, a quiet assurance of his own high value. He's not waiting for a response. He's crafting a life worth living regardless. Chasing in its rawest form elevates her to a pedestal while simultaneously reducing you to a subordinate. It's a psychological trigger for disengagement. Anything that comes too easily, anything that is overtly eager, instantly loses its luster. This isn't theoretical. It's human nature, raw and uncompromising. We instinctively value what we must earn. If your time, your attention, your affection are offered like an always open storefront available to anyone at any time, without effort, they cease to be special. They become commonplace. However, when you cultivate a certain selectivity, a quiet scarcity in your availability, your attention transforms. It becomes a reward, a coveted prize, rather than a common commodity. So instead of flooding her inbox with endless messages or constantly proposing outings, pull back. Slow your pace. The key is to mirror her level of investment, never exceeding it. If she takes a few hours to respond, take a few hours yourself. This isn't a childish game of tit for tat. It's a strategic move to project composure and illustrate that you possess a rich, full life beyond her. By not being perpetually at her beck, and call you subtly yet powerfully signal that your time, your energy, and your presence are valuable. This isn't about dishonest game playing or feigning disinterest. It's about being genuinely hard to get, because your focus is primarily on your own path. A man deeply absorbed in his goals, his hobbies, his passions simply doesn't have an infinite reservoir of time to chase. When you do engage with her, be intensely present, fully engaged. But when you're not together, don't cling to your phone. Don't anxiously await her response. Perhaps you send a thoughtful message, then seamlessly return to your work, your workout, or your creative pursuit. Let your attention return to the architects of your own destiny. She will inevitably begin to notice this stark difference. You are not like the others, the desperate multitude who constantly clamor for her attention. And when you authentically refrain from chasing, something profoundly interesting will unfold. Many women will naturally begin to pursue you. She'll find herself wondering what occupies your mind, why you aren't orbiting her like every other man. She might initiate contact more frequently or deliberately put in effort to capture your attention. By granting her the space to approach you, you empower her to invest in the burgeoning connection. Humans cherish what they invest effort in. A woman who feels she had to genuinely earn your attention, who had to reach for it, will invariably value your presence far more than one who perceives you as an easily acquired prize. As Machiavelli's brutal yet effective strategy dictates, it is often far wiser to allow others to come to you on your terms rather than expending your energy in a futile chase on theirs. When you hold your position rooted in your inherent value, you extend an invitation into your world rather than desperately trying to squeeze into hers. In essence, cease the chase, and you will find her gravitating towards you. Become the prize, the coveted goal, and let her effort be the pathway to winning you over. Rule 2. The enigma of attraction. Cultivate an air of mystery. In the early delicate dance of courtship, a glaring mistake many men make is revealing their entire hand at once. They eagerly spill every single detail of their life story, every nascent feeling, every meticulously crafted plan. While genuine honesty and eventual openness are crucial for true connection, attraction thrives on a spark of intrigue. If she feels she's deciphered your entire being on day one, if there are no more layers to peel back, much of the exhilarating excitement will inevitably dissipate. A carefully maintained air of mystery keeps her perpetually curious, constantly wanting more. Consider a first date, a common battlefield of self-revelation. One man, when asked about his life, might launch into a 30-minute monologue, an exhaustive chronological recitation of his existence from childhood memories to every single career pivot. By the time dessert arrives, there is absolutely nothing left for her to wonder about. Every corner of his life has been illuminated, every narrative thread neatly tied. The curiosity, the very fuel of attraction, has been extinguished. Now picture another man in the identical scenario. He shares a few intriguing highlights, a current passion project that ignites his spirit, a unique hobby he's deeply invested in, or a brief, captivating anecdote. Then he masterfully leaves some stories unsaid, some chapters unread, reserving them for another time. He listens with genuine interest to her, engages deeply in reciprocal conversation, but he steadfastly refuses to transform the date into his personal autobiography session. Which man will she be genuinely excited to encounter again? Without a doubt, the man who left her with an unanswered question, the one she still hungers to learn more about. Machiavellian wisdom, in its rawest form, advises, never reveal all your intentions. In the delicate theater of romance, this translates to a critical directive: do not broadcast your entire existence or overwhelm her with the depth of your burgeoning feelings too soon. Allow things to unfold organically, with a deliberate, confident rhythm. For instance, resist the impulse to immediately tell her every single thing you're doing today, or to answer every question with a full, unedited life story. Instead, pace yourself. Share your world gradually, like revealing a complex, beautiful tapestry thread by thread. If she asks about your past, offer a sincere answer, but there's no need to divulge every single chapter all at once. If you possess intriguing facets, unique talents, or unexpected depths, unveil them over time. Each new discovery she makes about you will feel like a rewarding revelation, fueling her desire to learn even more. Cultivating an air of mystery also implies a touch of positive unpredictability. Perhaps one week you orchestrate a spontaneous outing she never saw coming, injecting a delightful jolt of the unexpected. Another time, you might simply take a day to yourself, leaving her to wonder, in the most appealing way, what captivating pursuit you're engaged in. This does not by any means suggest manipulative mind games or character inconsistency. It means you are not an open book available for constant 24/7 scrutiny. You have layers, depth, and an inner world that isn't instantly accessible. In our hyper-connected age, oversharing has become a pervasive default, fueled by social media and constant digital communication. By deliberately not indulging in this pervasive trend, you instantly stand out. You might occasionally post about a significant life event or a profound experience, but not every mundane detail of your day-to-day existence. When she doesn't possess every single piece of your puzzle, her mind will instinctively begin to fill in the blanks. And often she will fill those blanks with compelling intrigue and escalating attraction. Remember, mystery is inherently attractive precisely because it respects the natural, gradual pacing of human connection. You're not concealing anything negative or deceptive. You are simply demonstrating restraint and profound confidence. You trust implicitly that who you are is compelling enough that you don't have to force it all forward at once. By allowing her to wonder about you now and then, you meticulously create anticipation. She will look forward to every conversation, every meeting, every shared moment, because there's always an exhilarating sense of, What new dimension will I uncover next? That very excitement, that simmering curiosity is the vital heartbeat of escalating attraction. So vehemently resist the pervasive urge to overshare or over-explain. Allow her to experience you piece by captivating peace, and let the potent tension of the unknown work powerfully in your favor. Rule 3. The unshakable core. Master your emotions. Nothing, absolutely nothing, can extinguish the fragile flame of attraction faster than emotional volatility or the suffocating embrace of neediness. When faced with challenges, setbacks, or the chilling winds of uncertainty, many men instinctively panic, overreact, or spiral into self-defeating behaviors. They become consumed by excessive jealousy, crippled by anxiety, or erupt in uncontrolled anger. A man who cannot reliably govern his own emotional landscape appears fundamentally fragile, deeply insecure, and in the unforgiving mirror of attraction, profoundly unattractive. How many times have you witnessed or heard of a man exploding over a trivial disagreement or unleashing a torrent of furious texts only to sheepishly apologize profusely mere hours later? These uncontrolled emotional detonations, these raw, unfiltered outbursts can inflict permanent, irreversible damage on her attraction. They are a glaring exposé of his inability to contain, process, and ultimately master his own feelings. Machiavelli, with his cold, calculating gaze, observed that a true leader must maintain an unwavering calm, a calculated composure even under the most extreme provocation. In the intricate dance of dating, mastering your emotions translates to an unwavering commitment to remaining grounded and unshakable, regardless of the twists and turns that emerge. Women sometimes consciously, sometimes instinctively will test your emotional fortitude. She might take a little longer than usual to reply to a message one day. She might cancel plans at the last minute, or she might playfully, almost imperceptibly tease you solely to gauge your reaction. The insecure man, a prisoner of his emotions, might bombard her phone with frantic calls when he doesn't hear back immediately. He might sulk, lash out, or descend into a pathetic self-pity if plans shift. The grounded man, by stark contrast, remains composed. If she cancels, he simply states, "No worries at all," and effortlessly proposes an alternative time, or even better, gracefully pivots to using that newfound free time for something productive and genuinely enjoyable for himself. If she teases him, he can laugh at himself with genuine ease, even playfully retort with confidence, rather than defensively retreating or lashing out. His internal equilibrium, his very mood, is not dictated by a single text message or the ephemeral whims of another person. His value is self-contained. Mastering your emotions also entails a deliberate refusal to rush headlong into the abyss of infatuation. Yes, you might feel a powerful pull towards her, a burgeoning warmth, but maintain your composure. Instead of immediately confessing undying love or showering her with grand dramatic displays of affection that feel prematurely forced, allow feelings to develop organically, gradually on both sides. Crucially, maintain a robust sense of independence. If you suddenly find yourself thinking about her 24/7, after just 2 dates, pull back, recalibrate, and consciously refocus your energy on your own established routine, your own life, your own purpose. Emotional self-control serves as a vital shield, protecting you from coming on too strong too soon. It also communicates to her with silent eloquence that while you deeply enjoy her company, you are not desperate, not starving for external validation, not clinging to her for your sense of self-worth. Practically speaking, cultivate daily habits that actively strengthen your emotional discipline. If anxiety begins to tighten its grip, take a deep, centering breath before crafting your response. If the insidious tendrils of anger or jealousy begin to bubble to the surface, physically step away from the situation. Only engage, only respond when you can do so with unwavering calm and profound respect. Over time, this quiet, unwavering stability will become an intrinsic part of your character, an aura that precedes you. She will notice. She will observe how you navigate challenging situations with a cool head and unruffled demeanor. That profound sense of composure will compel her respect and make her feel inherently safe in your presence. It powerfully communicates to her that you will not crumble under pressure, and that if life throws a brutal curveball, you possess the inner fortitude to handle it. A man who truly masters his emotions is in the truest sense free. He doesn't utter words in anger that he will later regret. He doesn't suffocate a woman with misplaced fear or a desperate need for control. He communicates with thoughtful intention and acts with calm deliberation, rather than being a slave to impulse. Ask yourself honestly, who would a woman rather intertwine her life with? A man who panics and rants at the slightest inconvenience, or one who remains calm, assessing the situation, and quietly, effectively solving problems? The answer, when stripped bare, is painfully obvious. This mastery bestows upon you an aura of quiet confidence, a serene strength. When you embody the calm in the storm, you become a silent, unshakable rock she can lean on, a man she cannot help but deeply admire. Rule 4. The unyielding line. Set boundaries, command respect. Being a generous, easygoing individual is a commendable trait, no doubt, but there is a crucial non-negotiable line that others simply cannot and must not cross. If you exist without personal boundaries in your interactions with a woman, if you permit her to treat you in any capricious manner out of a paralyzing fear of upsetting her, you are sending a devastatingly clear signal. I do not respect myself. And if you, the master of your own domain, do not genuinely respect yourself, then why in the universe should she? Machiavelli, with his piercing insight into human governance, observed that a leader who cannot command the respect of his subjects will inevitably and tragically lose his kingdom. In the brutal landscape of dating, if you fail to command profound respect, you will with chilling certainty lose the very attraction you seek. Women might, in the fleeting short term, find a pushover convenient or even amusing as they effortlessly get their way. But they are fundamentally incapable of feeling deep, enduring attraction for a man they can casually walk all over. This isn't malice. It's an intrinsic wiring, a primal need for strength and integrity. We've all witnessed the tragic spectacle of a man who allows his partner to trample over him. She cancels plans on a whim, flirts brazenly with other men directly in front of him, perhaps even slings insults veiled as jokes. And he simply absorbs it, all convinced that his boundless tolerance and passive acceptance will somehow magically prove the depth of his devotion. It never, ever ends well. She steadily loses respect for him, the bad behavior escalates, and eventually she either departs or remains, treating him with the disdain reserved for a doormat. Now starkly contrast that with a man who possesses the quiet courage to speak his truth. If something genuinely troubles him, he addresses it, calmly, directly, without aggression or passive aggression. If a clearly defined boundary is violated, he makes that violation crystal clear, leaving no room for ambiguity. This might for a fleeting moment trigger a difficult conversation, a moment of friction. But paradoxically, it also earns her profound respect. She grasps precisely where the line exists and subconsciously she appreciates that he possesses one. Setting boundaries means you, and only you, define what is acceptable in terms of how you are treated. And then, with unwavering resolve, you calmly yet firmly enforce those meticulously chosen standards. For example, if she frequently belittles you even under the guise of playful banter, you are not obligated to simply force a laugh. You can, with quiet dignity, gently but firmly, let her know that you do not appreciate such remarks. If she habitually flakes on plans, you make it undeniably clear that your time is valuable and that you will not continually schedule dates if she consistently fails to honor her commitments. Crucially, you must be prepared to walk away if those unacceptable behaviors persist. This is the precipice where countless men falter. They articulate a boundary, they state their terms, but then they fail to follow through when the line is inevitably crossed again. This only serves to make them appear weaker, more indecisive, validating her disregard for their stated limits. Again, enforcing boundaries is not about being controlling or domineering. It is a profound act of self-respect. You are unequivocally demonstrating that you possess standards for yourself and for the relationships you choose to cultivate. Just as you would not tolerate a friend who routinely lies to you or a colleague who steals from you, you should never under any circumstances accept disrespect from someone you are considering for a meaningful connection. Early on, a woman might almost unknowingly test your boundaries. She might arrive significantly late to see how you react or request a last-minute favor that is clearly unreasonable. How you respond in these pivotal moments serves as a powerful lesson. If you simply smile, endure, and acquiesce to anything just to keep her tethered to you, she learns a bitter lesson she can treat you poorly without any tangible consequence. But if you politely, yet firmly push back or utter a clear, unequivocal no when she infringes upon your defined line, she learns something far more valuable: that you respect yourself. And in turn, she will respect you infinitely more for it. It can feel terrifying, deeply unsettling to risk upsetting someone by standing up for yourself, especially if you are powerfully attracted to her. But in one of life's profound ironies, this is precisely one of the most attractive things you can possibly do. Women at their deepest core cannot truly love a man they do not genuinely respect. By displaying backbone, by showing that unyielding inner strength, you might induce short-term friction. But you are simultaneously constructing a bedrock of long-term respect and an unshakable foundation for attraction. Machiavelli, in his pragmatic wisdom, famously declared, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." In the contemporary landscape of dating, consider that fear not as terror, but as a deep, ingrained respect. You do not want her to be afraid of your presence. Rather, you want her to harbor a very real concern about losing you, losing the quality of man you are, precisely because you so profoundly value yourself. And you irrefutably prove that value by never ever settling for anything less than complete respect. So forge those boundaries early, etch them in stone, and uphold them with unwavering conviction. In the end, you will either cultivate a relationship where your inherent worth is recognized and cherished, or you will walk away with your dignity fiercely intact. And either outcome, without question, is immeasurably superior to remaining trapped as a disrespected, emotionally trampled doormat. Rule 5. The unwavering compass. Remain sovereign. Put purpose first. The final and perhaps most foundational rule is to never under any circumstance abandon your own path, your own purpose for anyone. A truly sovereign man is akin to a king in his own domain. He answers first and foremost to himself and to the unwavering call of his mission. He is not swayed by fleeting whims, not derailed by external pressures, and certainly not by the capricious desires of another. In the intricate tapestry of dating, this translates to a profound truth: your entire existence does not and must not revolve around winning a woman's approval or affection. You possess your own internal North Star, your overarching goals, your core principles, your burning passions. And you, as the master of your destiny, must continue to follow that guiding light, irrespective of who enters or exits your romantic life. Women find this quality incredibly, almost primally attractive. When a man exhibits a clear sense of direction, a profound commitment to his priorities in life, it broadcasts an undeniable signal of stability and profound confidence. Far too many men make the tragic mistake of sidelining or even outright abandoning their personal priorities the moment they begin to truly feel something for a woman. They will cancel crucial plans, neglect long-cherished hobbies, or even allow their work to suffer simply to spend every available moment with her whenever she asks. While a natural desire to bring happiness to someone you care about is commendable, completely derailing your own life to accommodate her every whim is profoundly counterproductive. At first, she might revel in the concentrated attention, perhaps even enjoy the feeling of being your sole focus. But eventually, a chilling realization will set in: you have nothing else going on. Your life, devoid of its own vibrant colors, has become solely about her. That, my friend, can become suffocating. No one truly wants to bear the immense burden of being another person's sole purpose in life. It creates an unbearable pressure, an unhealthy imbalance. Remaining sovereign is fundamentally about balance. You generously offer your attention and affection to the woman you are building a connection with. But you never ever sacrifice the core of who you are or abandon the very things that define your unique identity. If you possess a burning passion for painting, if you are meticulously constructing a burgeoning business, or if you adhere to a rigorous fitness routine that keeps your mind sane and your body strong, those must remain non-negotiables in your schedule in your life. Invite her to participate where it makes genuine sense. Perhaps she comes to cheer you on at your sports match, or you share some of your work triumphs with her, allowing her glimpses into your world. But never under any circumstances put your calling, your life's purpose, on indefinite hold for her. When she observes that you possess a life you are genuinely proud of, a life filled with meaning, purpose, and responsibilities you honor, she will respect you infinitely more. She will also come to profoundly value the time you do choose to give her, precisely because she knows it has been genuinely carved out from a busy, purposeful existence, not merely empty hours you are desperately attempting to fill. Living with this sovereign mindset also means you are not emotionally codependent. You want her in your life, you desire her presence, but you do not need her to be happy, complete, or fulfilled. If she must travel for work, or if circumstances dictate that you cannot see each other for a week, you do not collapse into despair. You utilize that time productively, investing in your own growth and well-being. If heaven forbid the relationship eventually ends, it might undoubtedly cause pain, a wrenching ache. But you will not be destroyed because your profound sense of self, your very identity, is not tied solely to the existence of that relationship. Ironically, by cultivating this deep-seated independence, you become an even more attractive and desirable partner. It unequivocally demonstrates that you are with her by choice, a deliberate act of will, not out of a gaping chasm of desperation or an insatiable hunger for validation. Machiavelli would advise his rulers to never depend entirely on the favor of others. Similarly, you should never for a single moment allow your self-worth to be dictated or dependent upon a woman's approval. Continue building your own kingdom. Strive relentlessly for progress in your career, in your intellectual pursuits, in your physical health, and in your overall happiness. When you actively, consistently do this, you will naturally emanate an aura of profound confidence and unshakable security. A woman entering your life will perceive that being with you is a powerful addition to an already rich, vibrant existence, not a desperate rescue mission for a lost soul. And that my friend is utterly irresistible. A man who remains sovereign and purpose-driven stands out unequivocally as a leader, a protector, someone who can embark on a shared journey with her rather than clinging desperately to hers. And this strategic approach unequivocally benefits the relationship itself. When both partners maintain their distinct, fulfilling individual lives, the time you choose to share becomes infinitely more precious, more profound. She won't feel smothered, won't feel solely responsible for your happiness, which alleviates an immense unfair pressure from her shoulders. Instead, she will genuinely relish being in your presence because it's a vibrant thread that adds immense value to her own life, not a suffocating burden. A little absence can, in fact, make the heart grow fonder, allowing space for growth and individual experiences. When you reunite, you both bring fresh perspectives, new experiences, and invigorating thoughts to share. By steadfastly remaining sovereign, you meticulously craft a healthier, more balanced, and ultimately more fulfilling dynamic for both of you. In the ultimate analysis, remaining sovereign ensures that you retain your intrinsic personal power. You are capable of loving deeply, passionately, but you never ever surrender the throne of your own life. That kind of profound self-possession, that unwavering inner authority, is the very bedrock of lasting attraction. Because at your core, you are a man who intimately knows who he is, knows where he's going, and possesses the unwavering courage to pursue it. And there is quite simply nothing more profoundly attractive than that. Ultimately, every single one of these Machiavellian principles, these harsh truths, coalesce into one singular profound realization, the absolute, non-negotiable imperative of valuing yourself. You cease the futile chase because you intrinsically know your worth. You cultivate a subtle air of mystery, not out of deceit, but because you possess an inherent confidence that you don't need to beg for external approval. You maintain your composure even in the face of emotional turbulence, and you erect unyielding boundaries because you possess a fierce, unwavering self-respect. And you relentlessly pursue your own purpose, your own grand mission, because you are actively constructing a life you are genuinely, unequivocally proud of. When you truly, deeply internalize and embody this self-worth, women like iron filings drawn to a powerful magnet will naturally, instinctively begin to value you too. When you allow these 5 potent rules to permeate your very being, you fundamentally reshape your entire approach to women and to relationships themselves. You move through the world with the quiet, undeniable confidence of a man who understands his own immense value. Instead of desperately chasing you, effortlessly attract. Instead of pleading for affection or validation, you command respect and inspire genuine affection. Consider for a moment the most charismatic figures woven into the fabric of history or immortalized on the silver screen. They never grovel, never beg for attention. They exude a serene, unshakable composure. They reveal their depths gradually, like a slowly unfolding narrative. And they are always, always anchored by a palpable sense of mission, a profound purpose that guides their every step. The people orbiting them, including women, are drawn in naturally, irresistibly, like planets to a sun. You don't need to be a mythical hero, but when you genuinely adopt these core qualities, when they become an authentic extension of your being, you become infinitely more magnetic in the stark, unvarnished reality of your own life. Remember, the true essence of these Machiavellian principles is not cynical manipulation. It is profound transformation. It is about becoming authentically the kind of grounded, sovereign man who naturally cultivates attraction through the very essence of who he is. Apply these principles consistently and with unwavering discipline in your daily existence, and you will discover that you no longer need to convince anyone to be with you. Women will desire to be with you, not because of what you say or what you do, but because of the powerful, attractive man you have relentlessly worked to become. In the final reckoning, attraction isn't something you can force, something you can wrench into existence through sheer will. It is something you invite, something you effortlessly beckon, simply by embodying your highest self. Attraction, like fate, favors the bold, the self-assured, the man who knows his own worth. Be that man first and foremost for yourself. And the rest, the genuine connection, the profound attraction, will inevitably powerfully follow.